Hey, this is the iron that started it all, it created its own category. Jay, what do we have here today?
Yep, today we have the new P790 from TaylorMade.
That's right. So what I mean by it created its own category and that it started something is that this is already 5th generation of P790. And when it first came out, it was one of the first to come out with the hollow body design iron. And you know, there was, some would say this was the first, some would say it's not.
Right, there was a lawsuit between PXG and TaylorMade, right?
Yeah, we'll let you decide about that. But PXG and P790 kind of came about the same time and created this hollow body design. What is like hollow body design iron really good for?
So the hollow body design, it helps make the face thinner. So yes, it's not just completely hollow body. They have some sort of foam that's injected inside.
That's right.
So that it helps retain the form.
Yeah.
But also it helps make the face. They help it make it design the face thinner, so it gives you more ball speed.
Yeah,
so that was the whole idea.
Exactly, and ball speed, more ball speed equals more distance.
Yes.
So it created its own category, and then like this category blew up.
Right.
Like there is no other. Like all the manufacturers have this category of irons, but the one that I really like about P790 is that they have not changed their name. They've kind of gone on to it being a 5th generation. So we're about to see almost the best of everything that they have created. The speed foam air that's in there, the speed pocket that's in there. There's something that they did differently this time with the steel face. So we're gonna test that out and see what it's all about. We're expecting to see some explosive distance. So we'll see all of that. Jay, you ready?
Yep, I'm ready.
All right. Wow. Sounds really powerful, Jay.
I mean, that just explodes off the face.
What's the 7-iron loft?
It's 30 degrees aloft, right?
30 degrees
so 30 is, it would be like a 6-iron for
like
in a more of a traditional set. I mean, but you know, you're still in the 7-iron length. So you know, there's a little bit of mix and match in that. Yeah,
and it's not just the loft that it is strengthened, but it's also because of it being a hollow body, it allows for a higher launch at impact.
Right.
And because of its ball speed that has increased, it's keep climbing up where you'll have a peak height and a right descending angle to be a right 7-iron.
Right.
So it's almost like a lot of people are saying, hey, there's a traditional loft and there are these like modern day stronger lofts, but both are kind of doing the same function and it's getting you the result that a 7-iron should do.
Right.
So that's what the P790, why it's so strengthened. But again, how does it feel dress and how does it feel at impact?
So definitely from the last year, the previous generation P790s, there's just a couple little changes that I noticed. First of all, the finish on the face. So it's now a little more shinier on the edges. And also the neck, you can notice that they have a little different design of the neck. I think it a little more cleanly with the hosel. Yeah, and definitely I noticed the top line is just a little thinner
just
as well.
A little thinner, right? So and more better players would like to see a little thinner top line.
Exactly.
I think it maintains the same amount of offset from the previous generation. And we're using previous generation P790 as a reference, but I think it's not really someone who's purchased a P790 last year that is looking to buy a new P790. It will probably be someone who has bought something from a couple years ago that are looking into this. Go ahead and hit another one, and I want to tell you what has made the most amount of difference in this year's P790. Wow. Nice and high, and that's what I mean by, you know, it's still going really, really high with the 30 degree of loft. So what's something that has changed from last year, which I think is a drastic change, is that they made a use of 4340M steel forged face. So it's a different type of face where they're able to, like you said, make the face thinner and create a larger sweet spot. We like to get into those numbers. So the sweet spot is 24% larger than
That's a
last year.
big difference.
Yeah, and that's, I mean, for average players, we don't know that looks like. We'll let the engineers at TaylorMade decide for us. But basically, it's making the P790 what has been really hot off the face, so giving a lot of distance, basically more forgiving. Yeah, so do you feel that? How was that struck?
I mean, that was struck pretty close to the center of the face, I would say.
Are you bragging a little bit now?
Yeah, that was.
Oh, that was right on center.
Pretty close to the center. Yeah, I felt it. Yeah.
That's good. So there's good feedback, right? So you're able to know and realize that where it struck on the face. Let's hit another one. Oof. Wow. The reason why I'm like reacting to these shots is because like it sounds really powerful. How does it feel as someone who's actually swinging the club?
Yeah, I definitely feel like there's a little bit of compression on the face. I can feel that. And yeah, it's not as clicky as what normally you'd find from a hollow body construction.
Especially from P790.
Right, yeah.
P790 has been kind of notorious for having good distance, but a very clicky
feel, right? Yeah, sound feedback. Yeah.
You're saying it looks like there's an improvement.
Yeah, there is. Yeah, I feel like it's a little bit more muted in that sense, so that it gives you a little more solid impact. You know, not just like a explosive, maybe feeling that you're hitting a hybrid or a fairway wood kind of like ting. It's more of like towards an iron. Yeah. Like a traditional iron,
For sure. So another thing that I want to note is that there's a line of TaylorMade irons, P790 and P770.
Right.
I don't know what you think about it, but it looks more like P770.
Right, yeah, they have the little band that goes in the middle now that kind of matches with the P770 aesthetics.
Yeah, which I like because I think how P770 came about was that P790 was so popular that they wanted to make a smaller packaged, basically the same iron in a smaller package. But I feel like P770 design was so well received this year that P790 actually took the design from P770. So it's gonna really be good for combo sets. I think the stat is like 80% of tour pros are using some sort of combo sets. And amateurs like us can absolutely take advantage of that.
Oh yeah, why not? Yeah. If the pros are doing it, there's a reason for that, right?
So if you were to combo this with P770, what would your set makeup look like?
Well, I would probably start maybe at like a 6 iron, maybe a 7 iron, depending on the loft differences. But so what I do know that TaylorMade irons, they don't have the speed slot for the shorter irons.
That's right.
Right. So that may be put into consideration. So like when I start to really feel like I need to hit longer shots, then I want that help to go along with like the hollow body and the more speed off the face.
That's right.
So I would say maybe like starting from the 6 iron and up. Yeah, maybe 6.5. Maybe a 4,
exactly. That's a good call out. And P790, what's really interesting is it looks all the same from the long iron to pitch and wedge or even the A wedge. But inside of it, it's all individually designed and structured for that iron to do what it's supposed to do. So the 4 iron will have lower center of gravity for higher launch. On the opposite end, the pitch and wedge and the A wedge will have a higher center of gravity
to lower the
trajectory, for sure. Wow.
Yeah, a little draw there.
Little draw.
Yeah.
I mean, 170. It's carrying 170 really, really far. So, if you are looking for an iron that looks good now, sounds good, and like you want maximum distance, I think you can't overlook the P790. The good thing about something like this is it's on a 2-year life cycle. So if you purchase it, sooner you purchase it, you will feel that it's a new irons for the next 2 years.
For the next 2 years, right?
So, well, that was great. I think that was such a great representation of P790. And hey, if you want content like this, we would love for you to subscribe. We're almost at 400 subscribers, which is amazing.
Yeah.
And thank you so much for all that support. And we actually had someone come into our store mentioning about our YouTube channel.
Oh,
so
yeah.
thank you so much for you all locals that are out there. But if you're watching this anywhere around the world, you can go to our website, yesgolfshop.com, and you can actually find P790. And we actually put a P770, P790 combo iron right there. So you can definitely take advantage of that. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe for more, and we'll see you next time.
See you next time.